Comello, 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 hello, hello. Comello, 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 it's your tech visitors girl, Melody Tensei, hello. Let's get on to business. As we said on the thumbnail, iPhone. Now this phone right here is a really old piece of tech. However, I do have something planned for it for a future project. Professional streamer things. I got a future project for it and I want to work on it. So one of the fatal problems it has right now is battery related issues. So in terms of battery, it kind of is suffering, I gotta be honest. Oh, this glove wouldn't let me. Alright, hold on. Looks like we're about to need this thing anyway. Jajang! A touch pen. This is almost everywhere. You can literally find this literally everywhere. Are you being serious? It doesn't work with it. Wait, what? Is it just me? Oh, this one works. Well, something's wrong with this one then. So we're gonna be interacting with the screen with this thing because the gloves is preventing me from doing that. So this thing is kind of a little dying and I want to replace its batteries. I went on an online marketplace and I decided, booyah, a third party. Considering that this iPhone is pretty old, it is also pretty much close to end of life in terms of updates. So I don't think it's really worth taking it into a Genius Bar to actually properly get it replaced. So I figured to myself, you know what? Let's just risk this phone a little bit and try to replace it ourselves. See how hard can it be. I would like to preface with saying that please do not do any kind of self-repair unless you're extremely familiar with what you're working with. That goes without saying. Yes, I have done my prior research before I start the stream. Though I have not properly done it, I don't have past experience on this. This stream is going to be like my first ever experience on it. But I have opened some phones in the past with varying success, probably because some manufacturers decided, let's put this ribbon cable somewhere here where people likely cut. Boop! And I went, shing! They're gone. Looking at you, Microsoft. Now, goes without saying, do not mess with devices unless you know what you're dealing with. This includes heating up the device. However, I don't have a device heater. So what I got is the next best thing. A hairdryer. Surely it won't be that hard. Hopefully not. Also, in behind the scenes, I've also got an iFixit guide on my screen so it can guide me throughout the way. And a whole lot of the instructions it gave had something to do with using a whole lot of parts. I'm gonna be substituting some of the parts, but I'll be talking about it soon. What's the battery life though? Well, let's just say it is well worn. Yeah, it's that level of well worn. But it's not just that worn, it actually does die out at random times, so like, it actually does just cut the frick out. Right, let's begin with, before disassembling, discharge the phone below 25%. Right, so we're just gonna shut it down and just get straight to work. Let's see what we can do out of this. First up, case off. Right, we're shutting this phone down. Let's begin with the simplest steps. There are a lot of various size screws. So we're gonna need a place to actually keep all this. So I got myself an iFixit toolkit. Right, remove the two 3.6mm long P2 Penelope next to the lightning connector. We will find those somewhere around right here. These two dots you see there, those are the screws. Right, following it is Step 2, anti-clamp instructions. We don't have an anti-clamp, but they say there is an alternative method to pull this off. So, manual opening procedure. They have this suction cup thing, which is included if you do buy the iFixit ProTech toolkit. Right here. Though I'm not sure if it actually sticks. Especially with a really horrifically scratched screen protector. Using the plastic opening tool. Plastic opening tool? No heat involved? Is it really that weak? Oh, I see the gaps! I don't need a hairdryer! Alright, plastic prying tool, we have that here. It's also in the ProTech toolkit included. But it goes without saying, proceed with caution. There we go. There are several clips holding the front panel. Also, these are the clips that they're talking about. No wonder I hear a click. So, yeah, I see it. It's right here. Like, these are the clips that they're talking about. Right. Opening display at a 90-degree angle. Lean against something to keep it propped up when you're working on the phone. Oh, we're gonna need to get something propped up on the phone, huh? Where is the display ribbon cable? Oh, I see it. It's right here. There we go. Water bottle. Now, warning, warning, warning! Everyone who's watching this or the highlights, do not bring any liquid near a device. Okay, there we go. It's kind of leaning, not leaning, it's kind of just holding onto itself for dear life. Which I am kind of concerned actually. Remove the following Phillips screw from the battery connector bracket. So we're gonna need to remove the shielding for the battery connector first. So let's begin. So the smaller screw will have to come off first. Remove the battery bracket from the phone. Come on out, you. Why are you so attached? Disconnect the battery. Right. Spudger. Actually spudge it in. Oh wow, it's actually really light. Wow, they just came off that easy. Well, that was easy. Following it, we're gonna remove the front panel cable brackets. The front panel, so I assume the display, so that we can have more workrooms to work with. Though honestly, from first impression, the original battery looks surprisingly intact actually. Like, it's not bloating or anything. Though I have used it for 7 years straight. So I am quite surprised by the quality. Right, so we gotta remove these screws in order. Make sure you keep the screws in the right spot. So like, I'm gonna need those smaller tiny screws in this box. Keep it there and nowhere else. It didn't say of anything shocking, so I assume there's no exposed connectors around here. Right, let's put her right here so we know the orientation. Right, following that, we're gonna need to remove the front panel. Goody. In the next 4 steps, take care to pry only on the connectors, not their sockets. Right, what's the next one? Use a spudger or a fingernail to disconnect the home button cable connector. That's the home button? How blocky do you have? Like, oh, I get it, it contains Touch ID info, but damn, that's huge. Pull her up by the connector, not by the socket. I'm trying, but it is having a hard time coming off. If it's not coming off by now, there we go, now it is. I was gonna say if it's not coming off by now, then I'll probably have to do it off camera. Right, next. Make sure the battery is disconnected. Use a spudger to disconnect the display date. Oh, that's the display back here, okay. There we go. That's the display. There's one more though, I can see there's one more connected. So basically the touchscreen thingy. The touchscreen sensor thingy. Easy. So I assume that's all of it? Yep, it is. That's all of it. There we go. We got the front panel out. Look at the absurd amount of connectors they have. It is simply freaking absurd. Like, so we're gonna put this somewhere safe because now we're about to work on the battery itself. Right. So what it says is peel back the battery adhesives from the bottom right edge of. Now we're about to try to pull out the battery adhesives. But because of the fact that I'm use your fingers or blunt tweezers. Be extra careful when working near the battery. Puncturing a lithium can release dangerous chemicals and cause a fire. Optionally, before proceeding further, you may remove 2 Phillips screws securing the vibrator to allow more clearance for extra lift. Right, these things I assume. So now we pull against it and pull her out. But don't lean against the thingy. So go with patience and try to pull her out like how you try to pull a snot out. Oh shit! See, this is what I'm trying to avoid. It's almost ripping apart. It's almost ripping apart. We're not. This is not gonna go well, and I hope we don't have to resort to this. Please hold on to it. Please let me pull all of it out. Nay, not all the way in. Don't go back in. Don't go back in. I still got a chance. It's Give me some clearance. I freaking hate these things. And they also shrivel it back inside. That's real bad news, you know. That's bad news, Dio. No! Why? Why does this happen to me every time? Where it just snaps off the end. No! Not again! Not again! Let's try doing it with extreme caution. Right, we got the adhesives off, and the battery was moving on its own, so that means this gloves is preventing me from... There we go. Let's... Oh, you still got a tiny strip left. Look at this bastard. So this is the new replacement battery. Sure, it's a knockoff and stuff like that, but let's be real. Would you really replace it with a genuine battery on an old, crazy-ass old phone that's barely in support anymore? Think about it. And this is the replacement adhesive. So what we have to do is we gotta stick it back to where it was, and then stick the battery on. But before all that, we're not gonna stick it just yet. We're gonna need to test it. We're gonna test boot it and everything. So we'll probably have to attach all the display connectors so we can see if it goes on. Let's try to boot it on and see if it works. Voila! Battery health, no info. Which I would expect, honestly, because Apple always have this proprietary shit on them, where they have this thing right here, which is the BMS chip, the battery management system chip. Okay, now that we know that that the battery is working, we can now go back to actually properly working on it. Okay, it's secured. Now let's have a last moment, last confirmation moment. No info, that's natural, because we're using a knockoff. Right. So it is advised on the iFixit guide that you should charge it fully and then keep it charging for 2 more hours, then run it down till there's nothing left, then charge it fully to 100% uninterrupted. Ooh, that would be days for me to work on this. I will work on that after the stream. Like outside of the stream, I would immediately do that, because I do need to use this phone for a different project, which I will probably make a video out of. So if you're wondering what I'm working on with this phone and what am I gonna do with this phone, you would know what I'm up to. I highly appreciate you all for being here chilling with me on this interesting journey of, I don't know, weirdly enough, 2 whole dang years of not doing anything tech. This is the first ever tech related stream I've ever done, and I'm just more than happy that I finally got to do something tech after marketing my channel as the tech wizardess for so long and not doing anything tech. Thank you all so much for sticking around and watching the HandCam streams, and yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Have a good night, good day, whatever time it is. See ya! Yeet.